Are you just tired of being broke? Tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Well, let's look at 3 things that you can tweak that will make the difference. Hello, welcome back to Ira Living. I'm Kenya, and I'm going to share with you 3 things that you can tweak in order to get to a place where you no longer feel like you're always being broke and living paycheck to paycheck. First thing you want to be focusing on is your money mindset. The way you think or feel about money has a significant role to play in the way that you use and handle money, and therefore the relationship that you will have with it. So if you think about money as something that's always going to be scarce, hard to acquire, then you're going to be in that place where money is going to be something that you find a scarcity approach around, and you're almost always going to be in lack. If you also see money as a way of rewarding yourself, so once you have it, you have to go and spend it to treat yourself and give yourself some special reward for achieving it, then of course you're going to have a challenge with money, because that means as soon as you get it, you're going to be spending it, and therefore you're not going to have any to accumulate for another time. You've got to remember that money is a tool. And as it is a tool, you need money to keep working to make new money. And therefore, money is something that you use in order to be able to do significant things in your life. And so you need to have that money in order to plan out things that you want to accomplish. So therefore, if you understand these concepts about money and your mindset is tweaked about how you see money and the effectiveness of it in your daily life, then what you will find happening is that your relationship that you foster with money will also be transformed. And that's key in your turnaround from being broke or from living paycheck to paycheck. Number 2 that you need to practice in order to not constantly feel like you're in a cycle of being broke is to be able to study your spending. Now, what I mean by study your spending is some people are spending and they're oblivious of what it is that they're spending, how they're spending, where they're spending, and what they're buying with their money. Now, in order for you to study your spending, this gives you an enlightenment as to what you're spending, where you're spending it, how you're spending it, and you can also then be able to assess why you're spending it. Because some of the things that we spend our money on are things that we really don't need to spend our money on. So therefore, this will give you the room to be able to set priorities. So that subscription that you have, do you really need it? Or that top up that you're getting each time that you choose that you're going to buy something that you don't need for that month, do you actually need it? The last charge you made on your credit card, was that really necessary? So we've got to be able to look at all of these spending and start to prioritize. We need to prioritize the things that need to be spent on. So those are the necessities, your bills. And then we think about the things that we want. And so we can limit our wants so that we can budget for them and plan out them in our spending. And that way, we are not constantly going into overdraft or needing to use our credit card or just living paycheck to paycheck. So first, check how you're spending, study it in detail, and then start to prioritize those things that you're spending on. Now, point number 3 that you need to have a look at in order to stop living broke is to be able to evaluate and monetize your value points. Now, your value point are those skills that you have and that you've developed over time that you are able to use to earn you more money. And in doing so, it means that you can get yourself out of the red if that's where you are, or bring in a little bit more money that you can spend so that you're consistently living beneath your means. Now, in order to do so, you might want to examine and just do a general evaluation of the skills that you possess currently. So this might require you needing to do some additional training to develop some other skills that you can use to make yourself some extra money. And then in so doing, you're able to either have a discussion with your current employer about a pay rise, or you can go and decide on doing some other activity on the side that can earn you a little bit more money. And so you can have another stream of income that you're bringing in to help you to wrap up your spending whilst you're doing point number 1 and point number 2. So these are some techniques that you can use, and therefore will stop living in a cycle, a perpetual cycle of being broke. Remember, financial literacy is a game changer. It has transformed my life, and I know it can do the same to yours.